Hi everyone, and welcome to a three-part series of webinars brought to you by Speciality and Fine Food Fair and Appetite Me. My name's Eleanor Atanasio and I'm one of the directors at Montgomery Group. And we organise industry-leading events such as Speciality and Fine Food Fair, the International Food and Drink event, Hotel Restaurant Catering and many, many more. I'm delighted to welcome today Jason Fox, who's Director of Operations at Appetite Me, to lead the discussion with our panel of experts. Who are going to share their expertise and experiences of building and managing an online shop. We will be taking a live Q&A at the end of the session, so please do ask questions in the button just below, and we'll try and get through as many as possible before we run out of time. For now, Jason, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll hand over to you.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for spending the time. We're all very excited to be delivering the second in a series of 3 webinars working with the Montgomery Group. And today I'm delighted to be joined by 3 panelists who are not only experts in the industry, but these guys are also T-shirt wearers. These are the guys who they have done everything we want to do. They've started from the bottom. They've worked their way up. They've got all the pitfalls, all the success stories. So we're in for a really good sort of 35 minutes here. I'll introduce them one at a time. Let's start off with Rod. Rod is the owner of Adlington Limited.
Morning all.
Welcome, Rod. Good morning.
Hey, Nick. Great, thank you. Yeah. T-shirt wearer. I put my shirt on for you. So.
You did, and you even ironed the full shirt, front and back.
I did.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. No, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And Catherine, who's the marketing director of Forage Farm Shop and Kitchen over in Wales. Good morning, Wales.
Nice to see you. Kind of. I can't see anyone, but you can all see me.
Oh, we can see you, Catherine. You're all good. And Tom, who's head of creative with us at Appetite Me. Good morning, Tom. Tom's over in East Anglia. So I think between the 4 of us, we've pretty much got the UK covered here. I'm in Edinburgh, Wales, East Anglia, and Roger in the Midlands, you said?
Birmingham, basically.
Birmingham.
South of Birmingham. Yeah.
Okay. So we're all good. Right. Just a few stats to start off with, and then we'll go into the discussion point. So during the last 18 months, farm retailers who were surveyed through Farmer have reported a significant rise in their new customers. And that's 92% of farmers have said that had a significant rise. And that's brand new customers, not just new transactions. That's a new customer base. Some 79% of farm retailers have also said that they've introduced a click and collect service, predominantly because of the coronavirus and managing that peak that we saw as soon as lockdown happened, but are still very much riding that wave of clicking of online, and 67% of those 79% introduced a home delivery service as well. So not only bringing people to the venue, but also delivering out. And whether that was through a main set of wheels or their own distribution, is a mixture of the two. And then by adding the new services, 73% of farm retailers said that they had to hire either additional staff or they furloughed far fewer staff than they originally expected to do so. So very, very positive about just how much online in a farm shop environment has actually grown in these last 18 months. 5 years ago, it was very few and far between, and just maybe the big players. Now, the vast majority of farm shops have got the bricks and also the clicks, as I'll say. So to start off with, you want to have a farm shop. You've got your farm shop. You want to have an online presence. You need to actually build something online. And Tom, in our creative department, he actually builds and constructs websites and then links them through to your EPOS portal as well. So maybe Tom and Rod, you can have maybe Tom come in on how that process starts and what exactly it is that you have to consider to set up an online shop.
Rob, do you mind if I stand in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've looked quite detailed into which platform is the best, and certainly Appetite Me, we've decided that a web presence is strong in WordPress. So you build your site in WordPress, but we've done a lot of research, and we've decided that when we're going to be doing an online shop, we're going to be doing that in Shopify. So you can have clear distinctions between the two sites, and that has its benefits. It also has its downfalls. But we just find that Shopify is a lot quicker and a lot easier, and to literally open your shop overnight. It's very intuitive. There are so many templates that you can just grab, put your stock on, and you can be selling within a day, and you can be making money immediately. Like I said, there is not having it built into your WordPress site. Some might think that's a downside, but as I said, there are positives. You get clicks between the two, which pushes both up the Google rankings.
Yeah, that was a good discussion point we had yesterday, actually, about how you the two sites together, they actually do help your SEO.
It's a trust thing, and both sites working together can only benefit SEO. So yeah, that's what we've decided. We decided that Shopify is the way to go for us.
Because we have gone backwards and forwards, haven't we, on WooCommerce and Shopify, and we've done we've done a bit of both. Rod, what did you find with your site?
I can bring the opposite opinion, because we just built a new WordPress site.
Fantastic.
with a WordPress bolt-on for the payment side. And we've also, the biggest problem we had was with the payment side of things. We were with PayPal for years, and it was just a disaster. So we've gone across to Stripe now, and it's really opened things up enormously. But I think WordPress, I know there's a couple of turkey farmers watching this, and I know we have different challenges at Christmas with the different types of turkey. We've got weights to contend with, we've got delivery days, we've got Thanksgiving in November, and it just does put up some other challenges and very short shelf life. So we found that WordPress gave us a better platform to be able to deliver the different days on a different shelf life with all the variables put together. We found WordPress gave us a bit more depth to what we were doing.
Yeah. And Catherine, when we're talking about actually using kind of experts to deliver these sites, this really is an area where you need to have people who know what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we came down, my husband and I, we moved to South Wales just three days before the lockdown. So that was sort of 18th of March last year. And the farm shop was due to open on the 9th of April. In London, things have been going crazy. The shelves in the supermarkets were bare. We came down here, everyone was far more chilled. The supermarket shelves weren't completely bare yet, but we said, come on guys, the farm shop's not going to open as planned on the 9th. We really need to focus on an online offering. Appetite Me team were furloughed, and I was lucky enough to find a local web developer who actually emailed me and said, I can see you were about to open. Do you need some help? So I worked with this guy to kind of launch to get a shop very quickly online.
Yeah, and what a huge success that was. I have to say.
Yeah. So it started, it literally started using, we'd already started the social media platform. So we started doing social media and taking orders over email, all quite chaotic. And then I do some photography. So I got into the shop, started taking photos of products, mostly of products that we could control the supply chain. So from our own farm, and then Michael Rosser, we were using WooCommerce at the time. I'd send over the images to him with the pricing and the weight variations, and he would all load them up. We kept it simple to start off with, doing meat boxes, and then we we slowly expanded. There was obviously huge demand for fruit and veg, so that was our next step, and then going into eggs and poultry, and then getting on local suppliers who were already going to be stocking our shop. There's a dairy farm near here called Tea Tangerist, and they supply a lot of our dairy and our milk and cream products. So that went up, and then talking with other local fruit farms and tea farms who allowed us to put some fruit on, and ice cream and cakes, and it just kind of slowly went like that, because we'd actually put all the stock that was meant to be coming into the shop initially was that delivery was cancelled because it was such high risk. But what we did have is we'd already taken on many of our key members of staff who weren't actually eligible for furlough because they'd been taken on post the 28th of February, I think it was, in 2020. So we really we didn't want to lose them. We'd spent a lot of time hiring the right people. And so we really needed to get going with this online element to make it work.
And Cowbridge were excited for a brand new farm shop, and then they were locked down. We can't have one. So
exactly, and we were so grateful to the local community in the way that they received us, actually, and it was at a time where online sort of virtual queues for supermarkets and supermarket delivery slots were almost impossible to get. So people did receive us really well, and also, of course, liked the fact that we were local, and the whole story behind it. The farm here, Penkline State Farm's been in the family since 1846, I think it is. And so, people like being, the traceability, knowing where their meat and
definitely 100%
is coming from.
Definitely. And Rod, Catherine picks up a point there about stock, and we were talking earlier about turkey and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and actually making sure that you've got the right stock at the right time.
That's and with the right shelf life. I would just like to expand on Catherine's point, though. I think we, as sort of premium poultry wholesalers, we probably serve 180 to 200 independent stores. I have to say the better ones, and it was amazing to watch the transformation at the start of COVID. And I have the utmost respect for people like Catherine, who just grasped it and actually got on with it. And the shops that did that literally built websites overnight. I know there was a big butcher's here, literally locally to us, built a website over a weekend, went online over a weekend. And the local, we shan't say the name, but the local supermarket was doing a very, very bad job. And the whole community abandoned the supermarket and went to the butchers. So this butcher's trade literally jumped up 100-fold. I mean, they couldn't cope. And the only way to cope was with the online presence. And it's been interesting and unbelievable effort. But now through COVID, as it's all starting to calm down again, their online presence is still fantastically strong. They're still doing 45% of their trade through the online presence they built up during COVID. But yes, the supply of stock is, I suppose, our main thrust with the website is Christmas, and that in a way makes it a bit easier because we only have Christmas Day to worry about. But the problem is you can't move Christmas Day.
And no one likes that.
No, I've tried many times.
And it's important to everyone.
Exactly. Can't get it wrong. The chance you cannot get Christmas wrong. If you get Christmas wrong, it just can't happen. So the pressure is enormous. But and I think you've got the added problems with carriers not being. Everyone just gets overwhelmed. And so it's in the turkey world, we liken the Christmas operation to a miniature operation. And actually, turkey farmers call it a campaign, and we have to plan your campaign with plan B, C, and D. because at times it will fall apart. So with the stock, obviously with turkeys, everything is aimed for a shelf life of the 27th of December. And we aim to have everything dispatched by the end of the 23rd.
Right.
If there's anything not dispatched on Christmas Eve, then there is a contingency in place, but it's got to be gone by the 23rd.
And just as turkeys for a Christmas, Tom, we've just been working with Catherine now on a barbecue boxes for summer. It's all about having the right product at the right time, isn't it? There's no, people don't want their turkeys today, and they probably don't want a barbecue on the 25th of December.
No, that's right. And I think it's slightly easy for Catherine because obviously there's not a single, well, I don't know, it's British summertime, so maybe Sunday was the only day that people were going to have a barbecue for that. But hopefully there's many more instances where people are going to be ordering barbecue boxes. But again, yeah, it's a seasonal. You can put seasonal things up. You can promote special elements throughout on the site. And I mean, the good thing about Forage is they make them up as to order, so it works perfectly.
Yeah, but I also think it's important, or it's safe to say that not one to steal another supermarket's tagline, but when it's gone, it's gone. If I've sold my allocation for today, then I've sold my allocation for today. It's not a case of having to sort of if it's that popular, you up your stock levels accordingly. But if your product is a fresh product, you can't just manufacture it.
And I think it's all about communication there as well. So as long as people's expectations are quite clearly set, what people don't like is being let down. So if you do think that you might run out of something, you need to monitor the back end of your website and make sure that stock levels are adjusted accordingly. But if you have unlimited, there's lots of because we are supplying a restaurant as well. We've got quite a lot of leeway in ways in which we can use the produce. So we actually rarely on the meat side of things get to that.
But also on a additional revenue new stream, it's not just produce, it's not just meat and cheese and alcohol to sell. You can also look at events and actually using your online a platform to sell the bigger story of your farm shop. Yeah. And I know that's something we've done at a Forage, Catherine, again with the
so we
Wine and Dine.
We feel very lucky at Forage because, of course, the way the world is going is it has been online, and high streets, etc. It's well known that there's been a decline in people actually going into actual shops unless you're able to provide an experience. And what we're trying to do at Forage is build a destination where people love to come enjoy the setting, and which is looking over a beautiful view over the Wye Valley, and coming together and experiencing really good food. And we can use our space by putting on extra events which do bring in other revenue streams. So at Christmas time we're very lucky to get in with one event. We did a wreath making event which used one of our local florists, and he came in and we had it all socially distanced, and our chef came in and cooked food, and it was really a lovely evening, and it sold out. So that was great. And then just last week we did our first ever evening tasting event, again, which we sold through the website. But it works when the numbers are relatively low. As soon as you start getting into events which require higher ticket sales, so we're going to be doing a pick your own pumpkin event, we hope, in October, and also a cinema event. But as soon as you start getting into larger numbers, then that's when we're looking to use a kind of specific event platform to sell the tickets, just because so many variations and times, and it's easier to have that housed in its own platform. But Tom would know more about the detail of it.
Well, the tickets for the evening at Forage last week was, I mean, they'd pretty much sold out before I'd even pressed enter to actually put them online. It was ridiculous. I put them up, and it was literally the quantity. I put 16 up, and literally it was just going tick 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 down, and within an hour and a half, I think, they'd gone. So that was a beautiful serendipity moment between social media and hitting the right time. I mean, I think we should put them up at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday or something, wasn't it? It wasn't like a.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky that we've got a very good head chef, and so we've become known for being able to serve very good food, and doing these tasting events really allows our chef to kind of show his creative side with delicious food he's putting on. So
they flew off, and literally no sooner had I put it up, I was taking it down because it was sold out. So that was a very successful couple of hours there, and working with Catherine as closely as we do, it was so good. Okay, post it on social media. I'll put it up on Shopify. You just saw literally the tickets fly out, and then it was sold out and taken off, and job done. 2 hours. That was it. And
it's good how those two mediums marry up, like the social media and the
exactly. I
the
mean,
website, and actually doing a joint campaign.
Yeah, you can
pushes it out.
You throw them straight from Facebook straight to the page. Not just the Shopify account. You throw them straight to the page where the tickets are, and they can click. I mean, Shopify are saying that over 70% of all sales are done on mobile phones now. On Shopify accounts, and that's just a whole new world, really. I mean, that's incredible that so much revenue is made from the phone, from everybody. Now, it's not even people waiting to go home and get on their laptop or on their computer or something. It's spontaneous. They're on Facebook. They'll click through. Oh, okay, I'll buy that.
You're nodding in agreement there, Rod. Are you same experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was looking at some research earlier about impulse buying, and it's ferocious and frightening. The power of the impulse buy, especially with millennials. I mean, not so much in our sector, being the premium food, but certainly impulse buying is absolutely. It's on the. It's one of the main, and that brings us on, doesn't it, to the visuals on our website we were talking about earlier. And catching people's imagination and for them to make a decision there and then. And also the power, we do a lot of behind the website, a lot of social media work. And I think that's really, really important with the website buying, isn't it? I mean, the website is your catalogue. You need the social media behind it is really the driving force that makes the whole thing work.
But I think that brings me beautifully onto my next topic line, which is actually about those virtual shelves and actually how you manage those virtual shelves with photography and the voice that you have as to how so you have a consistent voice on the actual site itself. There's many different ways of doing it. Lifestyle photography against actual product photography. And Catherine, we had a bit of a mixture of both, didn't we, to start off with?
Yeah, we did, and we sort of still do. But on our online shop, we have it on the white background. It's quite. I personally like the look because it's very clean, and you get consistency with it. Whereas on our website, which isn't the shop, what's it through, Tom? Not
that's on WordPress.
The WordPress site, exactly. We've got lots of lifestyle images on that, which is also nice for customers to see, particularly when they're thinking about coming to the shop itself. So
that also helps because you can, again, you've still got the same Forage brand throughout, but you can experiment with different, like Catherine was saying, you've got more lifestyle, more, you want you want to be there. You know, picture of the forage garden and everything,
Exactly.
and it's great. But when you go and buy your meat box or your jar of Stokes tomato ketchup, that's all you need to see. So you get it's much more simplistic, so you can be more creative with one and be more precise with the other. It's a nice balance.
But key to actually have the photography as a sound interpretation of what you're actually going to sell. And Rod, you were saying you've just had your photography redone.
Yeah, well, we had this discussion actually at great length amongst our team. Is, do people want to see the product they're actually buying? Do they want to see a lifestyle shot, or do they want to see what they want to see? And we actually do. I'm sure I'm allowed to say this. Quite a lot of work with Ocado, and they have the same debate, even the size they are. And you have to really, I think, feature both shots. Really, I mean, people are going to get this beautiful product actually ends up coming in unfortunately a gas pack, because that's the way it has to be transported. But a gas pack doesn't photograph very well.
No.
Even with the very nice, it still needs to be shown as a lifestyle image, I feel. So we found a new photographer that covered both those and understood the need for realistic lifestyle. I think I think tricky balance to go. I mean, do you go the full Michelin-starred lifestyle, or do you go lifestyle shot which people can create? And I was quite passionate that we created meals that people could create at home, and that looked realistic and weren't too high-fluting. And I'm very pleased with it. It's worked well.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the social media comes in and plays quite a big part often you put all your lifestyle photos on the social media, and it really entices people. And you need to make it easy for people. So making sure that you've got the links to the website from your social media posts, so that people can click through and purchase easily.
Yeah. So again, it's about that marriage between the two formats of social media and linking in with that website. It's so important.
Exactly, and as Forage is all about, supporting local Welsh produce. We then, often are promoting other products from local suppliers around, and you've got to make sure you tag them on the social media, and then using your local suppliers and their networks. It then helps to spread the word, and there's nothing better really than recommendations. So also people coming to the shop itself, we have a lot of user-generated content on our social media, where people are posting their own images of produce bought from the shop, which we then often in turn share to our stories. And I really think recommendations is so important to drive traffic to the website.
Tom, where do you think we can take that from photography into video or into a 3D kind of imagery within the website to try and get people to be, so they are in the shop? Is there going to be a time when I can look at a fridge and I can literally press a button on the screen of the milk that I want to buy and it goes into my shopping basket?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably not very far away at all. I mean, we found that the statistic about 3D imagery actually convert the sales conversion if you have a 3D image of the product up to 250%, which is an incredible statistic. But again, does that go over to food shopping? I don't know if anyone needs to see all the way around a Campbell's tin of soup. I mean, however, there are elements we can bring in. I think video is a brilliant idea. It's the way forward, and I want to. If I could do all things in video, I would. And it's only going to be a matter of time before you're going to get maybe virtual shelves or even a video of walking down the aisles in Forage, and you will be able to pick out your product. I don't know, but it's all upping the conversion rate of the sites, and having that sort of tangible element to it will just I think will improve sales massively.
Yeah, no, I take your point about a 3D tin of soup or a 3D potato as to.
There's no point in that, but maybe I don't know.
But a hamper or something, maybe.
The hampers, or maybe even the food boxes that Forage made. You know, if you can see round, you know, and see all the produce coming out
Here into the boxes.
Yeah.
Before you
Open the lid, you know, and what's inside.
Before the lid's put on. You know, we might see an up in conversions and people actually buying more of those. It's certainly worth a try.
We've seen a great uptake in our social media. My social media company persuaded me to start doing short videos, which felt very strange at first. And I'm clearly not Adam Henson, but I did my best. And but actually, the response has been amazing. People want to really interact with. I mean, we're wholesalers. We don't have people coming to us, so we have to try and give the image off, the image we want to portray through video. Really, I mean, we can do it with pictures, but it's much more powerful. So yeah, it's been amazing feedback. I mean, I just where people would never mention your social media before, suddenly they're talking about it. I love the video, or just short 20-second clips.
Yeah,
I think people like the human side, don't they?
Yeah,
They like,
and I think
you in the business.
Yeah.
If you keep it to 10 to 20 seconds, once you go over 30, people are going to start going, oh, okay, no. But it's the MTV. Well, it's more than the MTV generation now, isn't it? It's the TikTok generation, which is
MTV's back in the day, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a
so am I still, clearly. It's the TikTok generation where you're going to watch something for 10 seconds, but you take it all in, and that's it. Job done. Message received and understood. And I think TikTok it's not there yet in terms of a powerful social media engine, but it's not far away.
It's good for dancing. It's good for dancing
at the moment, but I think we're still a little way off of actually using it as a big selling tool, but it's not far away.
Yeah.
Catherine, sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, some of our staff in Forage who do some of the stories for us, they do use TikTok, and it's definitely true to say I think that the algorithms on some of the social media platforms do prioritize video content, so you're more likely to push it out to more people quicker. Very
good point. Thank you very much. So leading on now, really to I have a website. I've chosen my products. I've got a basket. I'm safe and secure of the data that's in the basket because I've used a professional service to create the website, and then I've actually got a delivery. Now there's a debate, isn't there, about a delivery or a click and collect, and obviously there's places for both. Delivery, you've got far more of an outgoing in vehicles and labor and time and fuel and energy and everything that goes into that, whereas a click and collect, you've got customers doing that work for them, but both have a place, and linking that to a website, actually a delivery, is trickier than it seems, isn't it, Tom?
Yes, and especially with the elements of COVID and Forage being where they are, bless them, it has been a remarkable challenge. It's part of the reason I chose Shopify to develop the site, because I found this most of the Shopify tricky bits are done with apps. So you download an app that does this, or will do that. And I found this fantastic app that would. Forage wanted to deliver to the Vale of Glamorgan 4 to 5 days a week, but only Bridgend on a Monday, and Cardiff on a Friday and stuff.
I can't remember.
So we had to manually put in everyone's postcode for the south of Wales, so that when they log in and they try and order their food, Shopify know where they are. And if you're in Bridgend, you'll only get offered the Monday slot, because that's when Forage are going to be delivering in Bridgend.
It was a cruel task, Tom.
It was a cruel task, but actually, it's so rewarding because it works, and B, to actually make that happen. the potential of that, and it makes deliveries much easier, but it also helps the customer out because they know, they're not even going to be given the opportunity of ordering their food on a Wednesday afternoon if they're in Bridgend, because it's not, they won't be delivering.
They can't do it.
It was a bit of a challenge, but a very rewarding one at the end of it, because it works really well, apart from the people who are just on the border, who think they might be in Cardiff but actually or actually think they're in the Vale of Glamorgan, but actually, we have to have a cut-off point somewhere, so we might, their postcode might be in Cardiff, therefore they can only order on a Friday. But
that's important when you've only got the one single van as well, isn't it?
It is.
You can't be driving around the whole country. Rod, your setup slightly different, isn't it?
Well, we run transport all the time throughout the year. But again, Christmas, we had this bolt-on of trying to have to deliver 1,000 turkeys or value-added products. And I think we're still in a slightly painful stage of getting there. We used, our website performed very well, but we had to input the postcodes into a separate software, postcode finding bit of software. The issue we had was that with 10 days to go, our Christmas carrier, a big carrier, a very well-known one, said that they couldn't guarantee our deliveries for Christmas. So we use them all year round. We distribute, probably about 150 parcels roughly a week. So I felt a bit let down, as you might imagine. But
quite rightly,
as we were discussing earlier, Christmas cannot not happen. It has to happen. So we actually employed lots of friends and actually worked incredibly well. We had 15 people with cars delivering our products around the Midlands, well, around the country actually, apart from the islands and the Highlands. And I have to say, and I have discussed this in other turkey meetings, feedback was fantastic. The people that received them were blown away by the service, and it felt far more personable than arriving in the ACP van. And every turkey got delivered, apart from one in Glasgow, which wasn't us; it was a carrier. So it's very difficult, the whole situation. I think next year we'll be using different software planning, different route finding software, but we do intend to use our band of friends again, obviously on a more planned basis this time, rather than the panic phone call. But I think there's a lot of power to be used by keeping it personable, keeping it family, and getting the job done.
And Catherine, that's something that you guys do very well as a family who chips in and everyone does a bit of everything. You're often out there yourself, aren't you?
Well, I think that's why we determined such a cool task for Tom, because we are a small business, and the people. Well, my father-in-law does a lot of the deliveries, and there's only one of him. And not always the staff spare to make the deliveries. So we really needed to keep it very clear as to which days we can deliver where. And we sort of debate into the future how it will go. But we are our brand message is a lot about shopping local. So how far you want to go and deliver, and then take that out of the locality, and brings in your food mileage issue, is then another question. So at the moment we do only deliver fairly locally.
Yeah, and we've said before about keeping consistency with so customers know what's happening and they know when it's happening. If you're going to go to Bridgend on a Monday, then that's the day you go. It's not Monday this week and Wednesday next week and Friday the week after.
No, it has
keeping that consistency.
Consistency is absolutely key, so that it's clear, and that really is important when you're trying to drive sales. Otherwise, people frankly just give up because it gets too confusing and they don't know where and when they can order. And so then they don't bother. So you really need consistency. Yeah, and that's what we found anyway.
I think just one last point. I think the power of click and collect is more powerful than we realise. The click and collect for us was up 38% this year. We saw a huge uptake for. We have a one-day private shop where people can come to the farm, and it seems to be people are prepared to find the time to come. And I think, as we were discussing earlier, if you can enhance the experience when they do arrive, and make it very slick for them. So we had a drive-through farm shop this year, so they would drive up, be booked in, and then they would have their turkey and products delivered to the car, and off they went. But that was only made much easier by click and collect, and the fact that it was all prepaid, all done on an order number, and off you go. But I think that's something we'll be looking to really enhance next year. But I think we can drag people to the shop, make it more appealing, and they will come. They really will.
And that's something you'll take forward into this year coming.
Definitely.
It's not just a COVID or a
no, for sure. No.
For that.
Yeah, no, we're very keen to have more people come to the farm. It's less to deliver, let's be honest, but also it's it seems to be. We have our shop on the 23rd, so it's the start of Christmas for people. A lot of people, it's the last day at work, so they're it's come and collect the turkey. It's the last day of Christmas, and off we go, and Christmas. Sorry, last day of work, and Christmas starts from there. So yeah,
very good. I believe that we're running out of time because Eleanor's arrived with a cheeky smile on her face to say, "Hurry up and get over it."
It's hard to interrupt because it's such an engaging and flowing conversation. So I'm sorry, but I'm conscious we've got a couple of questions that I just wanted to throw out to you that have come in. So if I may, from Ines, we've had a question. What are your thoughts on online promotions and deals? When is the right time to do them, and how would you voice it without sounding like you're sort of trying to get rid of stock last minute, really? How would you phrase it, really?
Who wants to go?
Again, I'm quite nervous about online deals in the premium food sector because you can be seen, as you say, very, very easily as appearing cheap. And I think we would always possibly try and not hide the fact, but maybe offer a cheaper free postage rate or something that was a bit more hidden. I think the sort of the 3 for 10 on an online shop and it wouldn't look right. I mean, we do that with other retailers, but on our premium site, it wouldn't look right, I think. So personally, I would do a different postage deal or try and hide things differently.
I think certainly what we do with Forage is we tend to try and link it to some occasion. If there's a promotion, if you link it to something else, it has a bit more gravitas. Obviously, we've had St. David's Day, that sort of thing. Even down to even if it's barbecuing, you can say, well, look, it's going to be sunny, so we're offering meat boxes at this sort of price because you might want to go and have a barbecue. I suggested to Catherine that with Wales doing quite well so far in the Euros, that we should be promoting, if there's anything sort of maybe from Turkey related, if maybe we could do something there, or certainly at the weekend when they play Italy, there must be some sort of promotions we can do there, but tying it in with something that people are engaged with already.
Yeah.
And I guess it's about being versatile and kind of adapting to those situations and what's happening around us, and being really integrated with the team that you're working with to be able to have that adaptability as well. Definitely. Okay, another question. Do any of you use the Instagram shopping feature app? And if so, has it worked or any feedback on it?
We haven't yet linked Instagram, but we have linked Facebook to our Shopify site. And we have one key issue, and that is that the algorithms on Facebook don't like it's illegal to sell alcohol
and meat, basically.
and meat, but I can't quite work out. I don't think it is actually illegal to. It's illegal to sell animal products. Yeah. So they're picking up our butchery products as animal products, and so I am constantly getting messages from Facebook saying that they've taken it off and banned the sale of it. So. That is something that I don't actually know how to overcome, because I'm just facing the Facebook algorithms, and so I imagine that would for us be a similar issue on Instagram. Although we do have lots of kind of more pantry-based produce that we probably could start to put the tags on.
Yeah, I think we've really got to start pushing Facebook on that algorithm thing, but they will be the same on Instagram because it's, you know,
They're owned together, aren't
They're
they?
owned by, yes, it will be the same issue.
It's one to work through and figure out what the best.
We're in the middle of
it. do share.
Come back to us.
Once you have the magical answer, I'm sure loads of people would love to know. So please do let us know. Okay, final question. And it's from Charlie McDonald. Which e-commerce platform would you recommend that includes extra functions such as event bookings, deliveries, promotions? He's trying to find something that includes it all without having to pay for kind of the bespoke build or using Eventbrite, etc. What would you recommend?
Well, I think it's clear that Rod is a WooCommerce man, and like me, a sort of Shopify. I think it's a bit of a sort of Mac and Microsoft sort of battle at the moment. You know, there are very good points to all of them. WooCommerce being free for a start. I mean, okay, you need to pay for your WordPress site, but it's a free download that you then put into WordPress and you can start using it. Whereas Shopify, you know, the entry level is quite cheap, but then if you want to go premium, you know, it does cost quite a lot of money. But I've found personally that everything, you can do everything in Shopify. There's always an app that will help. You know, there is always a way around something, which personally I didn't find with WooCommerce. And because it's a free app, I also found that sometimes help wasn't always there, because whereas with Shopify, if there's a problem, there's always someone on the end of the chat line somewhere that can help out. But also with WooCommerce, they do tend to upgrade their app a lot. And as long as you keep on top of that, you know, you've got the latest version, it's fine. But if if it upgrades overnight, it can throw some stuff out your shop, or something's not working, or that was certainly my experience a couple of years ago. Hopefully they sorted that out. But there's strong elements for both. But personally, I find that there is always an answer with Shopify. There's always an app you can search. You add it into your program or into your website and click it, and it do what you need it to do, and then it's working within your site perfectly. How about Rod?
Well, we've had no issues with the integration on obviously. It's a brand new site last Christmas. We launched it in November, and we found the integration was great. I suppose I'm using I wasn't at the coal face. having to that was my website designer doing the coal face, but we were also very conscious of the image of our website. We wanted to portray. We had a lot of moving video, a lot of very premium shots on there, and we spent a lot of time working with that. And it delivered everything. I was very, very happy. I mean, our web sales were up. I think it was 75% from the old website, but it was a big improvement. I know COVID had a big part to play in that, but even so, the power of the marketing, the power of the website is just unbelievable, isn't it? And we have to keep working with it. I'm very happy with WordPress. I'm very happy with the whole package. It works for me.
I think one tip we can share with the Spotify being a paid site is that on your monthly direct debits, make sure that the card you use doesn't expire. Because if the card you use expires, your website goes down, and you then have to re-enter all the information again.
You have to build it. Well, I didn't have to build it again, but it was
on a panic. So so just make sure you've got enough months on your card. I'll give you that for free.
And make sure that day isn't Bank Holiday Monday as well.
There you go. Or Bank Holiday Monday. Let's put everything together. It's one of those
things you probably wouldn't really think about until it actually happens, and you then need to deal with the repercussions.
That was exactly that.
It would be nice if we were notified, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'd be too easy. That's kind of all we've got time for now. So thank you all so much, Jason, and kind of all of our panelists for joining us today. It's been a really interesting conversation. conversation. I'm sure if anyone watching has got any additional questions that we haven't had a chance to go through, everybody here would I'm sure be more than happy if you wanted to reach out and ask away on a one-to-one basis. Either kind of get in touch with us or via the team at Appetite Me on their website. Our next event in the three-part series that we've got takes place on Tuesday, the 29th of June, and it's at 11 a.m. And it's titled The Customer Journey, Creating a Sensory Experience. In this session, we're going to look at everything that goes into an effective and intuitive customer experience, from signage and displays to lighting, temperature control, to the physical journey within a retail space. So to sign in and watch that, I think there's a green button appearing, so please do click on that. For now, thank you again, everybody, for joining, and we hope to see you at Speciality and Fine Food Fair in September. Thanks very much. Take care.
Thank you.